Funny Story by Emily Henry. Book summary in English. Funny Story by Emily Henry, a beautifully woven tapestry of love, loss, and rediscovery. Emily Henry's Funny Story is a refreshing dive into the intricacies of modern love, heartbreak, and self-realization. For anyone who has ever been through the ups and downs of relationships, this novel is a bittersweet but uplifting experience. The book combines wit, humor, raw emotion, and an ever-deepening exploration of what it means to truly know oneself. It's a narrative that weaves humor into moments of sorrow and offers readers a glimpse into the vulnerability of being human. At the heart of Funny Story is Daphne Vincent, a woman who has been through her fair share of romantic misfortunes, and yet, she remains unshaken in her belief that life still holds something good for her. Her latest blow comes when her fiancé, Peter, abruptly breaks off their engagement to pursue a relationship with his childhood best friend, Petra. Imagine the heartbreak of being left at the altar only to find that your former fiancé has moved on with someone you once considered a friend. Daphne finds herself at the precipice of a life she never saw coming, filled with questions and uncertainties. With her relationship in shambles and no immediate family to lean on, Daphne does what she knows best: she focuses on work. She lands a job as the head librarian at a small, quirky children's library in Waning Bay, Michigan. It's a fresh start, albeit one that feels like a far cry from the life she had imagined with Peter. Still, she takes solace in the quiet rhythm of her new existence. Her days are spent sorting through children's books, organizing reading programs, and doing her best to ignore the whispering voices in her head that still echo Peter and Petra's betrayal. As Daphne's life seems to fall into an uneasy pattern, she begins to realize that loneliness is a larger burden than she'd anticipated. Despite the humdrum of her routine, something is missing. The perfect picture of her past life, her engagement to Peter, the shared dreams, the plans for the future, now feels like a ghost of what could have been. She begins to question everything she thought she knew about love and herself. What went wrong? Was it her? Was it Peter? Or was love itself just a fleeting illusion? Just when Daphne believes she's gotten used to her solitary life, she is presented with an unexpected opportunity that challenges her notions of companionship and vulnerability. Enter Miles Nowak, the ex-boyfriend of Petra, the very woman who left Daphne in emotional shambles. Miles, with his wild, carefree spirit, seems like the last person Daphne would consider inviting into her already turbulent life. However, circumstances force their paths to intertwine in a rather peculiar way. The opportunity? A shared living arrangement that could help both of them make ends meet. Miles has been living in a rundown house on the outskirts of town, playing his guitar and writing sad love ballads while struggling to find a steady income. He's charming, witty, and yet somewhat tragic in his own way. The connection he shares with Petra, and the way their relationship fell apart, has left him somewhat disillusioned with love, leaving him to embrace a life of uncertainty. His decision to take up an odd living arrangement with Daphne seems to be more of a last-ditch attempt to escape the ghosts of his past. It's a bizarre pairing. Daphne, who is organized and meticulous, couldn't be more different from Miles, who lives a life of unpredictability. But there's something magnetic about their dynamic. They may not always understand each other's choices, but they respect each other's struggles. The friction between their personalities creates a unique tension that serves as the driving force behind the growth and transformation of both characters. As the summer months unfold, the shared living arrangement brings them closer in unexpected ways. Together, they explore the quirky town of Waning Bay, with its eccentric local characters, beautiful beaches, and hidden gems. The interactions they share are filled with moments of humor, gentle teasing, and the occasional deep conversation. Through their time together, Daphne begins to realize that perhaps her grief isn't the only thing that defines her. Miles, too, comes to the startling realization that maybe love isn't something to avoid, but something to embrace once again. There's a charm in how Emily Henry writes these characters. They are not perfect. They don't always make the right decisions. But they are undeniably real. Daphne is a woman who wants to find herself again, to rebuild her confidence and belief in love. Miles is a man who is broken, unsure of how to move forward after the unraveling of his own relationship. Their journey together is one of emotional healing, where each is forced to confront their own fears, insecurities, and broken hearts. But it is also a story about friendship, the unlikely bonds that emerge when two people share a space and a life for an extended period of time. As Daphne and Miles' relationship blossoms, it's not without its share of challenges. The history between them and their mutual connections to Peter and Petra looms large. At times, they are both reminded of the complexities of love, betrayal, and healing. The weight of their shared past often pulls at the edges of their budding friendship, threatening to unravel everything they've worked to build. But just as often, their connection grows stronger, offering both of them a glimpse of hope that love doesn't have to be perfect to be worth it. Funny Story takes readers on a journey of rediscovery, where characters learn to trust again, to forgive, and to embrace the messiness of life. The magic of this novel lies not in its plot, but in the quiet moments that define Daphne and Miles' growth. It's about the little things, the tender touches, the shared laughter, and the moments of honesty, that ultimately transform a casual living arrangement into something far more meaningful. Emily Henry masterfully crafts a story that is at once heart-wrenching and uplifting, funny and bittersweet. The humor in the novel is not just for comic relief, it's a tool that reveals deeper truths about the characters and their emotional states. Through witty dialogue, funny scenarios, and moments of levity, Henry shows us that life's messiest moments are often the ones that hold the most beauty. Daphne and Miles' story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, to the idea that even in the most challenging times, there is room for growth, connection, and joy. By the time the book reaches its poignant conclusion, readers will have been taken on a whirlwind of emotions, laughing, crying, and reflecting on their own experiences with love and loss. Funny Story is not just a love story, it's a story about becoming whole again. It's a celebration of healing, of embracing the unpredictable nature of life, and of finding joy in the most unexpected of places. For those who are looking for a story that blends emotional depth with humor, that explores love, loss, and rediscovery in a refreshing way, Emily Henry's Funny Story is a must-read. It's a beautifully written narrative that will leave you thinking long after you've turned the final page, reminding you that even in our darkest moments, there is always hope, and sometimes, laughter is the best medicine.